Member, you will have opportunities to make changes to schools in our district. In your opinion, what are the 3 most important items that you would change or modify? Mr. Getz, you may go first.
I'm going to take this as a two-part question because as far as the changes are concerned, I really feel like that we've made enough changes here in the past few years, good changes, but we need to slow down and just let the dust settle a bit, see where we're at, and be really, really proficient at what we're doing right now, because I think what we're doing right now is really, really good, but let's become proficient at that. As far as the things I would modify, communication, just as work experience, I'm going to draw upon is a key issue. Because what I found is the managers and supervisors, when talked to and surveyed, think that they're really communicating very well, where the ones that they're communicating with, not so much. So it's got that is an area that can be improved. Another area that can be improved is I think we need to improve the teacher training and professional development. We've got some really, really good tools as far as personalized learning and technology, but they weren't taught anything about that as far as implementing it. They may have been taught general principles of these things, but as far as implementing in a classroom, we're so far ahead of everybody that this is really new ground that we're getting into. So I think professional development is really, really important thing that we need to modify. And the last thing is communication again, and that's from communication from the school to the community, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there. They think the kids, all they do is play on their iPads, that's why the test scores are bad. And just a variety of things that we as a school board member, they're our representative, we're the representatives of our citizens in the town, and we need to be the ones responsible to communicate to them. And if there's bad things being said about our school, we need to be the ones that go out there and correct it and clarify things. The teachers and the administrators are really, really busy, and I don't feel that that's their job. I think as representatives of our town people, we need to be the ones.
As far as changes, I agree that there aren't a lot of changes that we can make. I think we've done the changes. There are things that we do need to work on, though. And one of the things I'd like to work on is teacher retention. I think we need to work with teachers, administrative staff, keep our good teachers here, come up with innovative ways to keep those teachers here. And too many teachers go to other schools for money, and we need to find innovative ways to keep those teachers in our district. Personalized learning, and not that we need to change it, it's new, and I think it's working well, but it's new. So I think we need to monitor the personalized learning K through 12, make adjustments where needed, and I think that's another communicative area where we need to have the teachers and the students and the administration and the board all together on the same page, trying to figure out what we can do better, what works, what doesn't work. And the third is, I know there have been this personalized learning, and I haven't heard it talked about lately, but when it was implemented, the grading system for personalized learning versus traditional class, I think that's something we need to look at. A lot of those, the traditional students that I've talked to are worried that their grades, their class status will be affected because, they're trying to get into a college, and they are worried that, they're not going to get as high a grade as other students because of the way it's graded. So I think that's something that we need to look at, and that will be another instance where we need everybody on board. And we'll all have different opinions, but we need to come to a decision and figure out how that works.
Well, green and growing or ripe and rotten, what do you want? I like green and growing myself. The other thing that I would like to see in this community is I'd like to see more community involvement in the school. I think it's great that we've got 5 people running for 2 school board positions. What do I want to see in the school? The 3 changes I'd like to make. What do you people want? Because that's who we're representing, and we want to do what's best for the kids. When you get on the school board, you sit down, you're going to go into board meetings, there's a lot of decisions to be made. It's not just what changes you want to see, It's what you want to see the changes made to best suit your employees, the students, and the community. Thank you.
First thing, I'd like to see us bring back shop classes in metals, woodworking, maybe power tools, instruction. Make sure our vocational opportunities are always available. These classes help prepare many students for hands-on skills if they're not planning on going to college, so they have a good education to enter the job market. The second thing, I'd like to find the resources to be able to provide textbooks for any student that requests them. This allows students to lower their screen time, which will improve their health issues. And the last thing, I'd like to ensure that all students for e-learning days have Wi-Fi's at home if they don't have the internet access. Thank you.
For me, as I think about this question, as I think about what it means to be on a school board or running for a school board, I don't have a particular agenda or run with a particular agenda with a laundry list of things that I want to see changed or see different for me. I have a lot of hopes, a lot of dreams, and a lot of ideas that I think we work through together between the students and the administration and the staff and certainly the community. I think one area where certainly I have a hope for improvement is communication. I think that's an area where we could use a lot of improvement in every way, but especially with parents in the community. And I'm very passionate about serving the community and engaging parents, and that's been so much of my history with that. Also, I'm very passionate because of my research and my doctoral work of making sure that we have adults invested in the lives of kids, that our kids have healthy adult relationships outside of their parents, their immediate family. And I believe we can do things as a school district to create an environment like that, certainly. And as I think about something that we might want to examine, maybe a third thing to think about, a hope or a dream, something I'd like for us to examine, perhaps we've looked innovatively at our education model in the past. And I wonder if we might take a look at some of the other parts of our school district, particularly our discipline model and some of those other things, to see if that matches the same kind of innovation and direction that we're headed. And it really has to be based on what's best for students, using research, using proven success, and not just an idea or a particular passion of any school board member or any part of the community, myself included. And so those are probably three of my greatest hopes heading into this school board year.